Hello everyone, welcome to Fashion Calgary. My name is Ania Basag and I am here in Szczecin on the second day on a fashion expo with a beautiful person, amazing designer, good friend, and I could talk endless, LORIS DIRAN, who flew from New York City as a special guest, special designer to showcase his latest fall and winter 2016 men's collection called Blurred Vision. And we survived and we are here sitting, and I want to chat with you, LORIS. First, before we go to that talk, how are you feeling today?
A little burnt out.
Of course.
And because it was so loud, I lost a little bit of my voice. So if I sound a little sexy, you know why.
Yes, but we women, we love that sexy voice, so I think that should actually be good. LORIS, first, for those who didn't have a chance to hear about LORIS, you've graduated your fine arts at New York University. You've worked with many well-known houses, fashion houses like Chanel, Versace, and you've started actually with your ready-to-wear collection, and then right away you went into men's collection. You've participated 13 times in New York Fashion Week. You created men's looks for Devil Wears Prada. A lot of information, but that's how accomplished this person is. And LORIS, and then there you are, you're in Poland. And how does it feel, and why did you say yes to actually fly here and participate for the first edition of Fashion Expo 2016?
Well, you know, some people don't like to run around the world doing their shows, but you know what? It always is a great idea to expose your ideas to a community that would probably never have seen you. I mean, I've done this in different places. I've done it in mainland China, done it in Hong Kong. Italy, you would expect me to do it. We've even done it in Uzbekistan. So it was a great opportunity to have a cultural exchange. I'm able to show what I do, and I'm able to get their response of the Polish fashion community on it. And luckily they liked it and it registered very well. And this is a great opportunity to expose the brand to a new place and unknown territory for us. So this was a great opportunity.
So let's get a little bit into your collection, the one that you've been showing last night, Blurred Vision. What this collection, we've seen quite a few looks on the runway. Tell me a little bit more about where your inspiration for this collection came from, and who is actually the receiver of that collection? Who is the man wearing Blurred Vision LORIS DIRAN collection?
Well, you know, the thing about my collection is I always try to make the clothes understandable to the average man. And the best feedback I get is when a guy who's not a fashionista, who's not an avant-garde clothing collector, comes to me and says, you know, I loved your collection because I could see myself wearing a lot of those things. And as you see, we don't do what I call a classic collection. We do a collection that has some classic notes to it. We work with the blazer, but we do it in different ways. We work with the pants, we do it in different ways. Knits, we twist it, you know, really make it something new. But I always try to leave the clothes masculine, understandable to the average man. The worst thing is when a man looks at an outfit and twists his head and says, "What's that?" That's the one thing you don't want. You don't want that kind of a reaction to your clothes. At least I don't. And it was great because this is the reaction we got. The clothing were inspired by military this year. I always was meaning to do military, but to me, military is a theme best saved for a fall-winter collection because it's full of pockets, it's full of structure, and to me, that spells winter. But I didn't want to do military predictably. I didn't want to do military where it looks like uniforms. So I picked very luxurious fabrics, unlikely fabrics. And then I came up with the idea of doing abstract versions of checks. It's as if you were looking at checks and houndstooth and Glen Plaid through a filter. or something that distorts these kinds of classic things. And by doing so, it created an abstraction to the fashion. You didn't pay that much attention to the military because you were so busy figuring out this complex fabric. So this, to me, is always the great juxtaposition in fashion. How to do something maybe predictable in an unpredictable way.
That's for sure.
And that was where that came from.
What about the fabrics? Because I know like people were commenting a lot about your collection. The fabrics looks very luxurious. And where do you get your fabrics from? And are there any actually type of fabrics that you like to work with most?
All the fabrics are from Italy. The fabrics I like to work with most, well, I love cashmere, of course. But the fabrics I'm using for the collection to give it a much more rustic look is, well, I always work in wool. But the fabric I love to use is wool cottons, wool linens, mixes that create a more rustic look to the wool. Straight ahead wool is a little too clean. I want something that has texture. You know, when I was a kid, I loved looking at collections that the fabrics, the original Dolce & Gabbana collection had fabrics that looked rustic. I love that look, and I always look to try to recreate it. These kinds of textiles. So we were able to get those fabrics out of Italy and do it. The fabrics that look like prints, you know, like they're silk screen, they're not actually silk screen, they're actually jacquards. So people are always very surprised when they see the clothes in real life. They say, we thought it was a print, but it's not a print. It's a jacquard, which is very special. It's much more complex.
Loris, for those who would like to see your designs, I still remember when we first met in your beautiful boutique in Tribeca, New York, but you don't have that boutique. However, people can find your clothes in quite a few stores, and can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Sure. It's we have Saks Fifth Avenue is one of our accounts. Hopefully next season we're talking to Barney's in New York, but we are setting up our online boutique now. I think every designer in the modern world has realized the importance of marketing your own clothes, and we're going to start to sell our clothes online at LORISDIRAN.com. So that should be coming by the next 2 months. You'll be able to start buying this fall-winter collection online.
That's wonderful.
So now it could be available globally.
Well, thank you so much, Loris, and I'm so happy you made it to Poland, and enjoy your final hours in this country, and hope we can have more of those stylish conversation more times.
I do too. Thank you.
Thank you.